You can never be too careful when it comes to fire safety inside the home. Dr. Erica Hodgman from Johns Hopkins Children's Center is here to share an important message on behalf of Maryland TraumaNet. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, you do really important work. I mean, right now there are two very popular items that families use inside the home, especially these winter months. They are s'mores makers, which sound fun, and these tabletop fire pits. But explain why they can also be very dangerous.
So these were a huge item. They're still available on Amazon. They were they were on a lot of white elephant gift list recommendations and things like that. So I think a lot of people got them as gifts. And really all they are is some sort of a heavy base and then a metal insert. And the intention is for you to fill it with isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then light it on fire and use that either as your fire pit or to use it to roast marshmallows. The problem with that, it is essentially an open flame and a propellant, and a lot of people are allowing their kids to use them and play with them, and there's just a really high risk of having basically the alcohol explode, causing really severe burns.
I mean, you're looking at it, it seems very unassuming. It's small, it's just a little, you know, metal insert there, but this can have huge effects. I mean, this problem has gotten the attention of the Consumer Product Safety Commission as well as the Maryland Fire Marshal, right?
Yes, we unfortunately have seen several kids come into our center with injuries related to these types of products, and they're very significant. They're significant burns to the face, the upper, the neck, the chest, the upper extremities. It can lead to lifelong scarring, disfigurement, loss of function, and very significant psychological impact as well for the patient and their families.
Of course.
So we hate these.
Yeah, I can imagine. I just think about these poor kids and their families. They're just trying to have fun and make memories at home, and they don't think that in 1 second all of that could turn. Since many people did receive these as gifts over the holidays, how are people being advised to keep their families safe?
If it was me, if I received one of these, I would throw it away. And I would advise most families, especially if you have young kids at home or kids who might try to play with it at home, I would just advise it to get rid of it. There is another version that's electrical. It's essentially a space heater. There's no open flame. You can still light your marshmallow on fire, but you're not going to get that same propellant explosion that's causing these really significant injuries.
And what are some of the safer alternatives that you recommend for winter indoor fun with kids? That's one of them. Is there anything else?
So that's one of them. You can also make the equivalent of s'mores in the microwave. You can put, you can toast marshmallows in the toaster or in the oven. Other things that are a lot safer would be, hot chocolate, for example. That still includes marshmallows, which is always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And if someone does sadly get burned by one of these items, what should they do immediately?
So certainly if it's a flame burn, the first thing is to put it out. So the stop, drop, and roll that we're all taught in school. And then immediately get off all clothing and run it under cool water, especially if it's a smaller burn. Run your hand under cool water. Don't put ice on it. That can actually make the burn worse.
Okay, but the water is okay if it's cool water.
Yep, cool water under the tap, and then call 911. And we do like to remind people that Johns Hopkins Children's Center is the burn center for children in the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland. Adults go over to Bayview, children come to the Children's Center.
That is a good reminder for families as they're doing that. Of course, we're always grateful for Maryland TraumaNet and bringing important matters like this to our audience. Can you remind us again just the mission of Maryland TraumaNet?
Yeah, so TraumaNet is a collaborative of all of the trauma centers in the state of Maryland. We all work together on injury prevention and coordinating care for people throughout the state of Maryland.
All right, Dr. Hodgman, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. We really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.